So thank you everybody for joining us today. I'm just trying to get my slides to move along, so apologies, I've got a very tiny screen here today. So welcome, my name's Francesca, I'm Head of Programmes at Student Minds. I'm sure I've met many of you before. I'm really excited to welcome all of our programme members here today for a short update from Student Minds about the University Mental Health Charter Programme and Award. So we want today to serve as a bit of a reminder about what our programme offer is, share some new developments and key dates, and ensure that everyone understands how to sign up for the award assessment as and when you're ready. So I'm joined by a couple of members of the team as well who will share the load for giving updates, and we'll have space for questions towards the end. So we're over halfway through the 24-25 programme year, and we're really proud to be working with 113 universities through the University Mental Health Charter programme. We've currently got 15 universities who've gained the award, one of which is Award with Merit, and many are currently going through or awaiting award assessment. Programme members, including our award holders, assessors and students, are all part of a social movement driving change within the higher education sector. And as I say, we want to take the opportunity today to remind you about the programme offer and the value for money that this does offer when institutions take full advantage of the different activities and resources available. If you haven't already, and we'll do some prompts about this throughout the session today, please sign up to the Hub, check out our remaining in-person events and our insight sessions. We're going to talk a little bit later about a new library of learning that we've just launched, and go give that a look after this session. And importantly, please give us feedback. Without this, we can't continue to design our offer to meet the needs of our members. So in December 2024, we shared our key objectives for the University Mental Health Charter for the next 3 years. This is our commitment to you as our existing programme members and the wider sector about how we want to continue to evolve and develop this work. Here on screen, you can see our key priorities. So sustainable and high quality delivery across the programme and award, continuing to work collaboratively to develop the University Mental Health Charter, and ensuring that we can continue to support change across the higher education sector in a meaningful way. Thanks to OFS funding, we've overhauled our internal systems. We've moved to a cohort model of delivery for the award assessments, which is allowing us to look at expanding delivery, developed and grown our community of practice activities for members, released our first insights report based on data from the first group of universities that went through the award assessment process, and developed a new online resource hub for members. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of those enhancements today. In case you missed it, in December, we launched a reports package, which is now publicly available on our Hub website. So as mentioned, the first report within that package was the outcomes report, and that was analysing all of the outcomes reports from the assessments of universities that have gone through the Charter Award process so far. So that was everybody up to summer 2024, whether they've been given no award, an award in progress, or an award. It's incredibly detailed with both lessons learned and examples of best practices, information about common challenges across the sector. And if you haven't already, I'd really implore you to go take a look at that and share that with your colleagues. Our second report was a development and continual improvement report, which communicated feedback we'd received from programme members and other stakeholders about the programme and award. We talked through the changes we've made so far and the improvements that we've committed to make in future. We know we've not got everything right, or there have been some more efficient ways that we could have delivered things. So we've actively listened to feedback, and we will continue to work towards delivering all of those commitments in that report. And finally, over the last few years, UCLan conducted an external evaluation of the Charter, so their report completed the package. It's also worth noting that the University Mental Health Charter framework was refreshed and re-released at the same time. So if you haven't taken a look at that refreshed framework, I'd implore you to do that as well. Now, looking to the future, in our objectives, we committed to ensuring the University Mental Health Charter is financially sustainable. The development and delivery of the University Mental Health Charter framework, programme and award over the last 5 years would not have been possible without the support of grants, such as our recent support from the Office for Students, the UPP Foundation, and supplementary investment from Student Minds Unrestricted Income. Since we've transitioned from pilot to full-scale delivery, we now understand the true cost of supporting universities as they move from engaged programme members through to award holders. And after careful consideration and detailed preparation, we will be increasing fees for 25-26 for universities that are programme members and or who undertake the award assessment. We've taken steps to ensure increases are more equitable, such as introducing a sixth tier in the pricing structure and moving programme fees to a similar tiered structure as the award fees by implementing more differentiation between the tiers. Our programme and award are not run for profit. Our fees for membership and assessment are calculated to cover the essential cost of delivery and nothing more. They allow us to work with you and for you to work with each other to create effective and meaningful, long-lasting whole university approaches to mental health and wellbeing at your institutions. And we'd like to reinstate today our commitment to seek additional funding from other sources to support the ongoing development of our offer, to continually improve the university experience and support positive change across the sector. So on screen, we have the new fees for the programme for the 25-26 programme year, and these can be found in the information handbook available online. Oh, sorry, I've just whizzed through those. I'll go back, and on screen now are the award assessment fees for 25-26. And again, those can be found online. We know the financial climate is really challenging for both institutions within the higher education sector and for charities. And we see the acute change that you will all be experiencing and know that some institutions will be questioning if you can commit to different sector initiatives such as the University Mental Health Charter Programme for the time being. The evidence clearly shows that our environment is a key determinant of mental health, physical, cultural, social, personal. All universities already have a whole university impact on mental health, so we must do this consciously. We don't want to shy away from acknowledging that for a university to commit to adopting and embedding a whole university approach to mental health and wellbeing is an ambitious undertaking, and it requires commitment from a huge number of students and staff to make that a reality. Investing in mental health and wellbeing of your whole university community drives better outcomes for education, research, staff and student retention. So it's never been more important for institutions to sign up to the University Mental Health Charter Programme and work collaboratively towards embedding a whole university approach to better mental health for staff and students alike. I'm going to hand over now to Justin, who's going to give us a little bit of an update about the University Mental Health Charter Programme.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Fran, and welcome everybody. I am really pleased to see quite a few of you here. So thank you for joining us to hear some updates that we've got going on. As I oversee the program side of the University Mental Health Charter work, I'm just going to talk through some updates that we've got going on. But firstly, I will talk about some opportunities that you still have available to you. So we've got some events still on the schedule for us with practice sharing events. So those are our in-person conferences, our insight sharing events, our communities of practice, and we've got a journey review as well. So I just want to keep you updated on these, but please note that all of these are on the hub under the events section, so you can find them after today's session as well. So to kick us off first, we've got our in-person practice sharing events. So these are full day conferences. We've got one coming up at the end of this month in Liverpool. We're going to be looking at the work domain. So we've got plenty of tickets available. Please use that opportunity, maximize your investment and join us for that day. We're hoping to get as many senior leaders along, so your vice chancellors and anyone who might support that role. However, if they're not able to attend, please deputize individuals, like I said, and really maximize your investment to attend that session. More information about these as well can be found online. Lastly, our practice sharing event for this program year is going to be in Bristol, and we're going to be looking at the sport domain and specifically clinical governance. So it should be a really good session as well. We've got some planning done there, and we're formalizing our speakers, and we'll be able to share that with you soon. We've got 2 more insight sharing sessions, one on the role of academics and one on international students, which based on feedback was really popular. So again, please attend those. These are online, they're an hour and a half, and they are open to yourselves, and we encourage you to invite additional colleagues along who might benefit, who might be maybe doing research in this area, and again, maximize that benefit of joining our program. We've got 2 more sessions of communities of practice. So we've got our next one, and I'm pleased to see such high uptake for this session coming up. And we've got another one as well. So again, this information is online. You can find your specific group and you can see the topics that we'll be covering in these last 2 sessions to make sure that you are prepared to engage deeply. And the last event that we've got going on is our journey review. So just again, just a reminder for this one, again, is that this is just for program members, so those without an award. And we will be having a facilitated 1-hour discussion looking at your whole institution approach. So it's open for 4 members. We've got 2 slots available. And if you are interested, reach out as soon as possible to reserve that space for yourself. And now that we've talked about the events going on for this program year, hopefully you guys are thinking about joining us for the next program year. As Fran shared, our information pack is available on our registration page, but I just want to make you aware of some of our key dates in case you haven't had a chance to see that yet. We launched our information pack on the 24th of March, so that has our program fees in there. We've also shared our award fees for you as well. On the 6th of May, we'll have a Q&A session available where we'll hear from program members, and you'll have an opportunity to ask more detailed questions about the upcoming program year if you or any of your colleagues have any questions about that. And most importantly for you guys, our registration window. So this opens on the 12th of May and will stay open until the 4th of July. So during that time, you'll need to complete your registration information, send that over to us to confirm your place. And we'll be kicking off on the 1st of September with our new program year. And we will welcome you all officially at our welcome session on the 16th of September. Like I said, all of this information is available on our registration page, so it's all there for you to check out. If you missed anything or if I spoke a bit too quickly, I'd encourage you to go and spend some time and explore that for yourself and for your team. I just wanted to plug our little information pack in case you missed it, but this is on the hub for you. And within that, we'll tell you all of the information that you need. So on our registration page and in our information pack, we have this information available for you. Because you're program members, it will be very similar to registration last year. So all similar information, looking at domain leads, contacts, contact information for your finance department, a purchase order, because you all will be returning, your vice chancellor principal's name, and a signed letter of commitment from your vice chancellor. There's a caveat to this, it's not mandatory, but we do encourage you to consider grabbing that because we think it really helps you guys in making sure that resources are safeguarded for you, especially going into the next year. So that's everything that I've got for the program updates. Like I said, we have all of this information on the hub, but we also have capacity at the end of the session for our Q&A if you want to ask any other questions from us. So I will now go ahead and hand over to Amanda to talk about some award updates.
I am able to. Oh, yes. Okay. Cool. Okay. So sorry with that technical issues. So yeah, so as basically since launching the Shattrath Award Assessment in spring of 2022, like Fran mentioned, we have accredited 15 award holders so far, including one institution that has achieved an award with merit. You can find the full list of award holders on our website, so on the hub. So please do go and check them out. The Charter Award is a really robust and detailed accreditation. It's not a simple tick box exercise, but that is also precisely why the institutions that engage with it get so much out of it, not just from the incredibly rich and detailed outcomes report, but really through the whole journey. We're now delivering the award in a cohort model, and you can see here on the screen what the kind of timelines are. So we have 2 cohorts each year. Cohort A with the self-assessment submission in September, and on-site visits in November, and cohort B with a self-assessment in January and on-site visits in March. And I'll take you through really speedily what the process is like. So about 2 months before your self-submission, you will have a briefing meeting with Student Minds, just to address any questions and ensure that you're on track. It's been recommended by institutions that engage with the award process that universities take at least 6 months to complete the self-assessment ahead of submission, because this process really requires cross-collaboration within your institution, and that's something that's incredibly valuable on its own. So then the self-assessment is what kind of marks the official start of the process. Assessors may then request clarification or additional evidence before the on-site visit. And 2 weeks before the visit, you'll have a final check-in with Student Minds, again, just to address any questions perhaps around the additional evidence, and make sure that everything's on track for the on-site visit. The on-site visit then takes place about 2 months after the submission. It contains 7 panels, 2 focus groups, and a campus tour. The assessment team may then request final clarifications before compiling your outcomes report with a recommended outcome. And we then have a short clarification period for any kind of minor amendments, such as if we've used the wrong acronym or misnamed a team or anything like that. The updated report then goes to the award panel, and confirmed ratified outcomes will be with institutions 2 weeks after their meeting. And we will then host a debrief meeting together with you to gain some feedback and kind of close out the process. If you want to learn more about the different parts of the assessment process, I really urge you to go and read the award handbook. It's available on the hub, but also attend our award workshops. We are currently going to be running a second set of workshops in this program year. They'll be taking place in May. You can register for those on the event page, and they're available to all program members, not just those who are currently going through the assessment process. We're also developing the reassessment process together with a group of senior assessors, as award holders have to go through reassessment every 5 years. So I'm going to see if I can manage to work the slides. Yes, so if you're really interested in registering for an assessment, then what you need to do is fill out the assessment notification form to join the waiting list. You can get that in the award handbook that is on the hub, but you can also email us to receive it. We are currently open for registration. We have limited spaces remaining for cohort A and B of 25 and 26, but you can book up until cohort A and B of 27 and 28. And to secure your spot, you must sign a contract and pay a deposit. The full details of the deposit fees are available on the award page on the hub as well. And finally, I just wanted to let you know that we will be opening for student assessor recruitment on Monday, the 7th of April, and it will close on the 2nd of May. And we really urge you to share this fantastic opportunity with your students. You will find out more information about that in the newsletter going out later this week. And that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Amanda. So the last kind of key update that we've got for everybody is something that we are really excited to share with you. So you may have heard through various different kind of updates, chatter about what's called a Library of Learning, and we've been really putting a lot of deep thought into how do we continue to evolve the programme for our members to give you access to various resources and best practice sharing opportunities, but on a kind of standalone resource or something that is there for you to access at any time and to be able to cascade easier to your colleagues within your institutions. We know that we could try to increase the number of in-person events or online sessions, but actually it's not always possible to engage people across your organisation in that way. And what you need is to be able to access resources in your own time and to rewatch things, share them to particular groups within an organisation. So we will give you a quick whistle-stop tour of a new resource that we've just launched. So the Library of Learning, it's a complementary standing resource consolidating evidence-based guidance, good practice case studies and research to empower you all to work towards your whole university approach to mental health and wellbeing. We want to further support, as we say, institutional development and increase sector collaboration. So you will have access to the resources that are in many different formats, and you'll be able to contribute to this resource bank yourselves in time as well. So the resource is currently got 17 high quality resources built into it, and it's for programme members only. We may look to open this out for a fee to non-programme members in the future, but at the moment it's just a resource for our programme members. We will share a video in a second of one of our colleagues just giving a bit of a whistle-stop tour, but there's just a few things I just want to highlight to you now. It's still very much in beta phase, so please be kind, be constructive. We know that there's work needed to integrate the hub and the library in the future, so please just bear that in mind. But we really do want people to go and take a look at that after today to give us feedback. We've got feedback, different kind of tools embedded across the site for you to be able to give live feedback to us. And there may be things that we've missed. We're revisiting every page this week just to check that everything's working, to check that there's no little spelling errors or grammatical areas, but do let us know if something doesn't work. And we've got big plans for this resource. So we really want to think about how do we kind of look at how people are accessing resources, get feedback on what works for them, what they enjoy using, think about the user experience, but also think about the types of resources and content that we want to create in future. So this is very much going to be an area of kind of evolution and growth for us. And how can we continue to give you access to the best kind of insights? So I will hand over to one of my colleagues just to get the video on.
Hello everyone and welcome to the University Mental Health Charter Library of Learning. This is a quick tour for you to see some of the features of this new library available at the moment for University Mental Health Charter programme members. So to navigate to the Library of Learning, once you log in to the hub, you can go to the Charter drop-down at the top of the page and find the Library of Learning button, or we have these new navigation links on the screen as you log in, where you can navigate directly to the Library of Learning, the members group or events, and you'll see those there. So clicking through to the Library of Learning, you'll see the landing page and you can read through some of the information about the Library of Learning, what's in the Library of Learning, and very quickly you can get to the actual resource pages. So each page of the Library of Learning is based around one of the domains in the University Mental Health Charter framework and the Enabling Themes domain. And we've also created a page to house resources connected to developing and embedding a whole university approach itself. You can click through to one of these pages, or another way of accessing the resources, especially if you've read everything in the Library of Learning and you just want to see what's new, is scrolling to the bottom of the page where we've got a What's New in the Library of Learning section, which updates automatically as new resources are uploaded. So you can see some of the resources there and click straight through to them. So showing you one of the domain pages, let's choose the support page, which is one of our key resource areas that we've developed. Clicking through to the support domain, you'll see an introduction at the top and then the contents on the right-hand side, and you can easily navigate back to the Library of Learning. We've also connected each of these domain pages to the relevant section in the framework and the recent award assessment insights report so that you can really frame your learning and connect it back to other elements of the programme. Scrolling down, we have a section for educational webinars. Scrolling down, we have some generous good practice case studies from some of our awarded universities, and I'll show you one of those in a moment. And below that, we have research and evidence. So these are partners and professionals across the sector sharing insight into emerging research and evidence and talking about how this research and evidence connects to the charter work of embedding a whole university approach. Scrolling down, we have additional resources and links at the bottom, so national guidance, evidence, and a lovely link back to our previous event materials, again helping you to connect the Library of Learning to the other offerings of the University Mental Health Charter programme. Giving you an example of one of the case studies, we've got the wonderful case study from the University of West of England, Bristol, on implementing clinical outcome measures, where they provided us with a professional video, and underneath they provided us with a detailed written case study that you can download to share with your colleagues. And below that, you can sometimes find further resources. I'll give you an example of another of the domain pages. So the enabling themes, for example, you can see it's really similar. It has the links out to various places, and below you'll find an educational webinar on each of these pages, some good practice case studies. Some of the pages don't yet have the research and evidence, but we've got lots of resources coming soon over the next 6 to 12 months. Okay, I hope this has been a helpful tour of the Library of Learning. When you do get to take a look around the Library of Learning, there will be a feedback widget that will pop up on the various pages, and we would love to hear your feedback. Please bear in mind that this is the beta version of the site. We wanted to get it up as soon as possible to share these resources with you all. And if you would like to submit any ideas for further resources, you can do so via this form, which is on many of the pages. Looking forward to hearing from you, and please enjoy these resources and sharing them with your colleagues at the university.
Brilliant. So I hope that gave you a little bit of a taster, and that has inspired people to go check that out after today. So we are going to pause for a minute just to see if anybody's got any questions. So we have a Q&A option on the Zoom. So if you do have any questions about any of the content today, please post those through and we will do our best to answer them. So we have the first couple of questions that are rolling in. So the first one is, how do new and or continuing members get access to the Library of Learning? We have a similar question that is about the Library of Learning access. Is it available to programme members? So does that mean all staff and students at a member institution can log in and see the resources? So I'm going to look to my colleagues for their nods. So you need to make an account on the hub, and this is just staff. Unfortunately, it's not students at the moment. And then that account will need to be activated, and that will grant you access to the Library of Learning. A caveat that we might need to, in future iterations of the Library of Learning, we might need to kind of think about what that looks like in terms of access, whether that's unlimited. I'm not imagining that all thousands of staff from across the UK will be suddenly signing up and creating accounts. But yes, at the moment, please do share that with your colleagues and encourage them to make an account on the hub, and we can get them access to that. We have another question that is about fees, if they are inclusive of VAT or plus VAT. So those are those don't include VAT. So the figures that we've shared today, VAT needs to be added to those. So we've just had those few questions so far. So does anybody have any other questions to come through? I'll just give it a pause for another minute. So Chloe, I can see you asked a question about is there support and guidance in the Library of Learning on best practice for setting up working groups for my assigned domain? I'm going to give a bit of a grey answer at the moment, so apologies. So I don't think that there is specific guidance about that at the moment. So a lot of the resources at the moment, we've focused heavily on the support domain because we know that this has caused many of the kind of pain points for institutions in their journeys so far. And we really wanted to work reactively to the insights that we had when we were doing this first kind of phase of the Library of Learning resource creation. We then also have worked with institutions to share specific case studies about where best practice had been identified through that award process or through conversations with institutions. So that practical guidance about setting up working groups isn't there yet, but that's certainly something that we can look to create in the future. And I think I would absolutely encourage everybody who's attending today to take a look at the resources that are there. And then, as we've said, please give us feedback on the types of support content that you might want to see available. Obviously, we'd encourage you to participate in the communities of practice and attend the various kind of sessions to engage with different programme members, because through that kind of wider membership offer, we'd really hope that, through that kind of peer support between members, that you might be able to ask other institutions in the programme their experiences and to get some kind of live help. But yeah, we'll definitely take that on board as feedback for future resources. Oh, sorry, Cecilia, you're under a link from Chloe, but I'm glad you realised I was talking to you.
I'm going to jump in on that as well, Fran, just to expand a bit. Yeah, I would definitely reiterate utilizing the hub discussion spaces or the feed, whichever is most accessible to you. Obviously, we're reviewing that and want to continually improve that to make sure that you guys can access it and utilize it in that way. But also within our framework and on the Library of Learning, we do link out to additional resources. So those that haven't been created by Student Minds, but other sector stakeholders and partners will have developed resources that we will signpost to. And equally, if you find some good practice out there, we would definitely encourage you to share that with us. As strong and mighty as our team are, we always welcome help and support in locating some good new evolving research or supports that we can disseminate across the program. Because I'm sure if you've got a question, there will be others on the program who have them as well. So just to add those little bits in to the answer that Fran had shared with you. I'll mute myself now.
Do we have any other questions from anybody? What we might do is, if we just move on to the next slide, we'll do our kind of wrap up, but then we will stick around for a few minutes if anybody does have any final questions. So just first of all, thank you everybody for joining today. That reminder, please do sign up if you haven't already to our final 2 in-person events in Liverpool and in Bristol. So in a few weeks in Liverpool for senior leaders, please, if it's not necessarily the event for you, please do encourage somebody in your institution, and similarly in Bristol. We've got more insight sessions coming up, and the great thing about the insight sessions with them being online is you can share that link to other colleagues and just join from your desk, whether that's in the office or at home. And do, as I say, get your hub access. Make sure that you are accessing the hub, finding out information, engaging with other members, and check out that Library of Learning. So the key dates for registration. So registration opens on the 12th of May and runs through to the 4th of July for the 25-26 programme. And if you are interested in finding out a little bit more about the award assessment, please do get in touch. For those of you that know some brilliant students and you think that they may be interested in the student assessor opportunity, please do share that. We work with some fantastic students from across the sector, and I'm always amazed just at how switched on, how incredible they are when they are, especially going into those site visits and having to really hold their own in those panel sessions. And it's a really incredible opportunity, and also that opportunity for them to get that kind of peer networking and mix with other assessors. And just finally, we wanted to touch on, and as we noted towards the start, we really do recognise that this is a really challenging time for universities, for both staff and students. We have students who are reporting to us about the impact of the challenges and decisions, including cuts to staffing, that it's having on them. And I can only imagine that as staff yourselves from those institutions, what's that is like to work in that environment at the moment. And mental health and wellbeing is sometimes seen as a nice to have rather than essential, but it's really imperative that resource is protected for that in this climate. Everyone at Student Minds supports the fantastic staff and students that we work with through the University Mental Health Charter, and we are absolutely here to support you. And please do continue to give feedback to us. As I say, we want to make sure that the programme really just suit the needs of our members. So again, thank you. And I will just have a look back in the Q&A just to see if we've got anything, or ask my colleagues if they can jump in as I'm messing around with my tech. Oh, yeah, please, Justin.
Yeah. I can jump in. Somebody has said, are the insight sessions and events for the program for the next year already decided? And would it be possible to feed in some ideas? So we are actually in the process of deciding those as we speak, looking at the layout of our events, and even for in-person events, because we want to be responsive to our program members. While we might have decided the overall topic, key bits that we decide to include in our sessions for those days might slightly shift as we approach those events, just to make sure, again, we include your input and some of the sector priorities if they evolve. So I would say, if you have any insights, any insight sessions or any topic ideas that you would like covered, I would very much welcome them. I really appreciate this type of feedback. So do send us an email at charter@studentminds.org.uk. And apologies, I don't think we can send a message in the chat to you. But if you do have any questions, if you have any feedback, do share them with us. Equally, if you have any feedback on how we can improve our events, such as the structure, we always welcome that. So yeah, you can find our email if you didn't quite catch that on our website as well.
Thanks, Justin. We have a final question that I might hand over to my colleague Amanda, just in case, because you're a little bit closer to this work than I am. Do we have any social media resources we could share with students to advertise the assessor roles?
We will be sending out some information and asks to our program members around sharing this, and there will be at least some social media prompts and posts created. I'm not sure if there's any kind of images created yet, but there might be.
Thank you. And yes, anything that you can do to help us find some amazing students, we are extremely grateful. So I'll just do one final call out for questions. I think that seems like it's it. So thank you all again so much for coming. We're going to keep this short and sweet today. It's been a pleasure just giving a quick update, and we do hope to see people at the next round of events, whether in person or online. And have a lovely afternoon.